Welcome to the Week in Gear, the show in which I rank the most exciting guitar gear released in the last 7 days, all the way up to my pick of the week. So, if you're a gear addict, make sure to hit that subscribe button and prepare to get gas. There is a lot of Fender this week, including one very limited edition pedal that I went on an absolute mission to get my hands on. And, well, we'll talk about that in a bit. One pedal that's very easy for me to get my hands on is this, because I built it myself from a kit that I got from this week's sponsor, 𝗬𝗏𝗡. This is the Two Kings boost pedal, which is based on the King of Tone pedal, which is based on the Marshall Bluesbreakers pedal, which is based on the Marshall Bluesbreaker amp. Anyway, you get the idea. If you've ever fancied building a pedal yourself, 𝗬𝗏𝗡 have several to choose from, including this one, and they all come with all the parts you need, plus an extremely easy to understand instruction guide. Really, the guides are my favorite parts of the whole thing that you buy. So, if you fancy a fun project, or if you need to make your guitar better, visit 𝗬𝗏𝗡.com by following the link in the video description. All right, let's kick this list off with a guitar that I don't think anyone is going to buy, but it is worth talking about. Fender have released a Stratocaster in collaboration with Yves Saint Laurent. Yes, the French fashion company. It is a stealthy, blacked out guitar, and this is the point where I would normally give you the specs, but instead, I will refer you to the Yves Saint Laurent website, which has my favorite guitar spec list ever. This $12,500 limited edition Strat is 60% metal and 40% wood. And that's it. That's all we get. I love it. Now, I know this is not for us, but I actually really dig it. I love the lipstick pickup covers that keep those pups hidden. But sadly, there were only 10 available and they are already sold out. But there is also a comparatively affordable matching deluxe reverb amp coming in at only $3,000. And for those of you who must own something black and French Fender, there's a set of 6 picks in a collector's tin coming in at a mere $32. Also, if you absolutely have to have a blacked out Strat and you don't have $12,500, there's a Harley Benton you can pick up which looks almost the same. Number 4, there is another Boss Heavy Metal 2 clone on the market, and this time it's from Catalinbread. A few weeks after Electro Harmonix released the Hell Melter, an HM2 with loads of extra controls, Catalinbread bring us something quite the opposite. The Carbide is an HM2 with only 3 knobs, which is 1 fewer than the Boss pedal. The most famous setting on an HM2 is the Swedish chainsaw sound, which is having all the knobs maxed, and that's exactly where the Carbide begins. So it's a maxed HM2. There's no gain knob, but you do get a wet mix knob and a dry mix knob, along with an emphasis control that tightens up the extreme low end whilst cutting treble. The Carbide comes in at around €175, which is a little more than Boss's own HM2W, the 𝗬𝗪𝗡 one. I think this is a really cool idea for a pedal. I love how the bass level is the setting that most people use an HM2 for, and then this allows that clarity to be brought back in. And I also bet that this would sound amazing stacked with some other full-on distortions. In at number 3 this week is a tiny minimalistic amp from Mooer. It's called the Mooer Hornet 15i, and it has a total of 1 knob on it. So, how do you control this 15-watt modeling amp with a 6.5-inch speaker? With an app, of course, and a Bluetooth pedal. The demo video shows that this probably has similar technology to Mooer's GTRS guitars, which means that even though this probably isn't the best sounding amp in the world, it will be packed with more sounds and features than most people need. In fact, it has 52 amps and 49 effects, with more available in the cloud, plus a drum machine and other stuff juicily packed right into it. I think I talked about this amp on a previous show, but it's now officially released and available and will set you back around €150. I played the first Mooer Hornet at Thomann many years ago, and I was actually pleasantly surprised at how good it sounded. So I do expect big things from this little box. but not that big. Running in at number 2 this week is the Canvas reamp from Walrus Audio. I've got that, I'm going to show it.
2 hours later.
Yeah, here it is. I already reviewed this week if you're watching on week of release, and you can watch that video with the link in the video description. But to sum it up very shortly, reamping is a lot of fun, and this little box makes it easy. Firstly, you record your guitar directly into your audio interface, and then you use this box to connect that audio interface to your amps and effects, and then you can tweak that clean tone until the cows come home. Reamping is far from new, but the Canvas reamp has all the features you need to make reamping a breeze. It's got a volume control, a ground lift, a mute button, a high-pass filter, and a phase inversion switch. I love this little box, and I've had a lot of fun playing with this and my pedals and amps this week. Walrus Audio have definitely done their homework when it comes to knowing what musicians need, and they've priced it at a very reasonable $150. If you want to open a whole new world of creativity, then this is a solid choice for having more fun with the gear that you already own.
Andy's Pick of the Week.
My pick of the week this week is something painful to talk about. This actually gave me the strongest gas I've had since the Boss Tone Bender Fuzz. Fender surprisingly dropped a shoegaze dream pedal in the shape of the 𝗬𝗙𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗏 Blender. Kevin is the noise-making frontman of My Bloody Valentine and has created some of my absolute favorite fuzz tones with the original Fender Blender. But this new signature pedal combines that original classic Fender pedal with some more modern performance assisting features. The Fender Shields Blender has 8 knobs and 4 foot switches, which is double the amount you find on the original Blender. It's got 2 channels and 3 octaves of blendable analog fuzz tones. Channel 1 blends the fuzz voice with the original clean signal, whereas Channel 2 removes that clean signal and instead blends the fuzz with a monophonic sub-octave fuzz. There's a foot switchable sag control and foot switchable octave up. It also looks very similar to the original 70s Blender, and that is where the good news ends. This was $499 and limited to 700 units, only available through Fender, Reverb, and Andertons. And I needed one. I work with Fender very often, so I reached out to them and I awaited a reply. In the meantime, I went to reverb.com and I tried to order, but they had not set shipping for Austria, so I was out of luck there. Then I tried Andertons, my last option, because since Brexit, getting stuff delivered from the UK has been an absolute nightmare for me. I even chatted directly with the captain himself, and everyone was very helpful, but by the time I could determine how much it would cost to get the pedal to me, they were all sold out. There is a ray of hope though. On the Fender website, there is a button that says, "Notify me when available." So maybe, just maybe, more are on the way. So I end this week's show on a sad note. Please make me feel better by telling me in the comments that I don't need that pedal and my life will be better off without it, and there are plenty more fuzzes in the sea. Actually, on a very positive note, according to another email I received, Sun amps are coming back this year. So maybe I will be able to get my Doom on after all. Hopefully, I will have something to show you on August the 1st. And I said it was Fender heavy because currently Sun amps is owned by Fender. I would love to know what you think of the gear released this week. Is it a good week? Is it a bad week? Is there anything in particular that piques your interest? Did you also want that Fender Fuzz? If you do, and there's something that you can actually buy, there are links with up-to-date pricing in your regions in the video descriptions. And if there's more information to be had, you'll also find it down there too. So a massive thanks to this week's sponsor, 𝗬𝗏. Make sure you visit them as well. And if you want to be kept up to date on all new guitar gear, go ahead and click there to subscribe, and I will see you next time.